It's time. Khaos Reigns is out, and actually it's been out for a few hours now, but for some reason, PS5 problems, I couldn't play with the DLC characters, so I've been testing out the cameos for a little bit, but it's time. Finally we can play with our three new lovely characters, and I've got to start with Noob Saibot, because although I love their new redesigns, I've always been a bit of more of a fan of the ninjas. So Noob Saibot is who we're going to be trying out first. Now, I've tested out a few of the cameos, and I do really quite like some of Striker's changes. So I'm just gonna have him as my default cameo while I'm experimenting, but okay, so I've seen the Kombat cast. I know that he's got a lot of strings and a lot of specials, but one of his biggest strengths, at least from what I've seen so far, is that he has strings like this that are 4 hits, and you can special cancel the 3rd hit. That is surprisingly really rare in this game. Like, it just doesn't happen. Most strings are just like 3 hits and you're done. And that's it. And like the last hit is not cancelable and it just knocks the opponent down and that's the end. That's for some reason the default string in this game. So the fact that Noob Saibot has multiple, oh there we go, strings like this is really cool and really strong, because like when you hit someone with the down 1 and then you try to go for your string, it's really easy to hit confirm. Oh, this is definitely not hitting my opponent, let me just like go into a mix-up or just finish the string or something, or if it's hitting, go for some kind of combo. Also, some of his buttons look crazy, like this down 2 is not okay. Like, what is that? It is 10 frames, instantly goes to the top of the screen, so you can have no problems with any like weird, like super strong jump kicks, like Johnny Cage's. For some reason his jump kick is always so freaking good. So lovely, love that he can just snipe people out of the sky, especially people with kind of slightly weird movements or delays to kind of or dive kicks or things. This is just still gonna hit them because it covers the entire to the ceiling. So super good. Let's start off with going through all of these strings quickly. So we got 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 4 and 1 2 3s, 1 2 2 1 2 1 1 2 2 2 1 2 1. Okay, at least a lot of them seem kind of back and forth. So we know we got 1 2 1 2 1, another 4 hitting string, which is really good because even on this 3rd hit, can go to special moves. Once again, so powerful, so strong. Okay, we got 1 2 4, no, 1 2 3, which is an overhead that is +1. I noticed it a little bit as well. It didn't seem like he was going to be a mix-up monster, but he has a surprising amount of overheads and lows in his strings. And in like the beginning week or so, people are going to get hit by all these random lows and overheads. So +1 overhead, that's pretty good. There's going to obviously be a gap there, but really strong. You can do a full string and still be plus afterwards. Very powerful. And what we had 1 2 1 4. So a slightly different way of ending that string, but it did a lot of damage, and it leaves you pretty close with the opponent in the air, so that seems like a pretty opportune time to get some kind of cameo extension. Yeah, there we go. Easy peasy, and any kind of like Movado, Striker, Scorpion is gonna do that easily. Okay, then we had, yep. So this seems like his only good mid from what I've seen. And it is 14 frames, but it has got pretty decent range, like from around this distance. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you can do some back dashes into this a bunch. Unfortunately, it's not a back button, so you have to kind of do it a little bit more awkwardly, but that is really strong. And having all these follow-ups from it had a bunch of different follow-ups, didn't it? Yeah, 2 different strings from it. Interesting. So this one's relatively safe. This one, completely safe, but it has a low in it, which is pretty cool. So just another sneaky low to catch people with overheads and lows, or mix them in with cameos. So what is this? Oh, that's relatively safe too. Whoa, this just seems like an amazing mid-string. Very staggerable, and you can finish it to be completely safe. Wow. And then that makes this one okay. So it's unsafe, but does it do... So 77, 58. So I guess this is just your most damaging option if you're trying to go for combos. Perhaps. Then we had, oh, these are only when you have Chaos, Embrace Chaos activated. Okay, so that's like a special ultra mode string. We've got 2-1-2s, 2-1-4s, back 3-3s, 4-4-3s. Okay. Wait, what was the first thing? Oh, right. So standing 2. Something interesting as well. Look, his standing 1 is 9 frames, and his standing 2 is 7 frames. So when you're going for punishes, you're actually going to be using this string probably most of the time, just for a better chance of punishing things. Which is just curious and weird. Just a little bit of a special DLC treatment. So once again, a multi-hitting string, just 2-1-2-1. 4 hits. And yeah, you can also special cancel it. Really, really strong. And there was a 2-1-4. Oh yeah, we saw this string. So it's a pop-up. It's probably a nice big pop-up in the corner, but mid-screen, you're not going to get much yet. You can't dash in on that. You're not going to get much except for your teleport. But hey, that's pretty cool. You can probably go for the slide if you don't have... Because he does, like, yeah, the slide himself. Whatever, we'll get there. And then 3-3s and back 3-3s. His standing 3, by the way, some people thought this was a special move. He's just one of the few characters in the game that had like launching buttons. There was a few of these in MK11, but a standing launcher is not really something that exists in MK1 at the moment as well. So he's got a lot of things that don't really exist much in MK1, like 4 hitting strings and launching buttons is pretty rare. Good job, Noob. But, you know, I don't know how useful it's going to be. Oh, it's actually relatively safe. Wow, that's kind of cool. You can just throw it out as a high, and then it's an easy hit confirm because it's a launch. So you're like, oh, it hit. And we go for some kind of combo. Very cool. Then back 3-3 is also a really, really good string. Well, this is probably the mid you're going to use more, because it's actually 12 frames versus 14. So this is more of your footsie mid, and this is your actual fast mid. And wow, yeah, it's got a fully safe string, low, mid, mid, really good. Maybe there's a gap, maybe there isn't, but that on its own is already really good. Can combo into his comboable stuff. That's all you need. Awesome. And then what? 4-4-3 and we're done. So another cheeky overhead from your standing kick. What's the frame data on these like? No plus frames. But hey, it's a pretty high damaging string. Has a sneaky overhead in it. And I imagine, yeah, it's pretty easy to go into cameo extensions in it. Or some pretty easy damage. Right, and then aerial strings. I'm pretty sure he only has 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 4, 2, 1, 4. How do we do it? This? That's 4, 4. Oh, okay. So 3, 4, and 4, 4 are the same. So it's just 1, 2, kick, kick. So he does just have 2 strings. 1, 2, kick, kick. Or 2, 3, 4. They both seem pretty good, because from what we've seen, this one leads into combos. Is a really good way of high damagingly, and that's great, going into your teleport. And this one is just it's a really high launch actually. Can I do it twice? Oh! 3 times? Dang, that's some pretty easy damage. Look at that. Okay, I see you, Noob. I see you, Noob. Right, okay. And then nothing too special with the throws other than, yeah, when you're in the Embrace Chaos, stuff goes a little bit weird with a lot of things. Okay, and then special moves. Right, we got the Ghost Ball, we got the Activate of the Ghost Ball, or the Intense Activation of the Ghost Ball. Embrace Chaos, which we'll cover last, but Full half circle back. The realm summons, what does that mean? Oh, is that also... Oh, that's the Embrace Chaos special move. Okay, so we just have Ghost Ball so far. Ghost Ball, the portal, down back 2. Back forward 3 is the tackle, we already know that. Back forward 4 is the slide. Sweep. Dive kicks. Telly. Okay, not actually that confusing. They made it seem like he was going to have the most intense move list of all, but what? We've got the ball, just with quarter circle forward. Pretty easy, nothing too crazy about that. The activation is actually a lot more negative than I thought it would be. I thought it might even be plus, but I guess that's kind of ridiculous to think about in a NetherRealm game, I suppose. But we're getting like Guilty Gear Testament or Street Fighter 6 Bison. But being able to do that in combos is pretty cool. And just launch from anywhere is powerful. And then the down back 2 is this portal. I didn't actually, for some reason I thought that would be a complex input, but just, yeah, down back 2 for this, yeah, it's slow, but it's a low that launches and it's plus. It's actually pretty similar then to Rain's Whirlpool, just comes from the sky. Almost the exact same speed and a little bit more plus. Lovely. And it also leads to an aerial combo. It can't be amplified. Oh yeah, and when the projectile is amplified, boom, you get to throw the... You get this little guy to hold it. I wonder if it's a set timer or can you choose how long? Yeah. Right, so down and stance switch and you can choose when he throws it. So there's definitely going to be some really cool setups with that. Like you can do your string. Oh, but you have to be careful which strings you can actually do without him. So we do something like this. And then you get cool launches from anything, as long as you know what your buttons are without the clone. Ooh. This can't be amplified, and you have to choose the place it lands. Oh, but it does actually stay on the floor for a few moments, so there's probably some cool setups with that, just like with Rain. A lot of similarities between these two, it seems. Like slow projectiles, decent strings, decent buttons, and some mix. So the portal, and then we got tackle, which seems actually pretty complex of a projectile. So like, of course, it's a slightly slow projectile that you can throw from full screen. 20 frames is not too slow, like when you're closer, of course. But then, yeah, full screen, not too slow, and it brings the opponent towards you. So as long as you just do a dash in or two, you actually get Oki from this projectile, which is very, very rare. And I don't think any other character in the game can get something like that. Like, I have tons of time to do 2 dashes and still have time to whiff a button in their face. But I've seen that also if you're like around this distance, you have a chance of getting some conversions. Probably takes a little bit of knowledge to know what you can get where, but yeah, from that distance you can get 4-1, and from 2-1-2 you can easily get another 3-1-2. Don't really know what the conversion is to get from that, but very, very cool. And the amplified version just tosses you completely, so yeah, from full screen that's really quite powerful. It's not too fast, so I guess you have to just pray that it hits, but it seems like it's a pretty good launcher. Swap sides, which could be annoying, but then what, we got like this combo that we just did. Oh, lovely. Pretty easy and a decent amount of damage, so it doesn't scale too horrifically either. Slide is slide, I suppose. Like, it's pretty powerful to think about. A 19 frame low projectile that travels reasonably quickly is super strong. It's practically a Sub-Zero slide, except safer and better because you're not launching yourself at the opponent, which, if you're in cooldown, you do, and yeah, that seems pretty strong. The only thing that's kind of different between this and Sub-Zero slide is maybe he's a little less low and he can't armor it, but that seems really, really powerful, and you know, it's Mortal Kombat 1, so you can just do stuff, bring out a cameo, and you're completely safe no matter what stupid shit you're doing. Down back 4 is a little sweep. Pretty decent range actually. So anytime you have like buttons that can go into an overhead, of course now we can mix into a low. I think we forgot to mention that he has this forward 3 overhead as well. So really quite a lot of mix. In the middle of his strings, random overheads, random lows, other random overheads, other random lows, starting low, starting overhead, and a low special move. Like, that's nothing to scoff at. That's definitely nothing to scoff at. Okay, and this is also his wake up when he amplifies it. Interesting. So definitely not going to get much conversions from that with any cameo, but you know, you can keep it safe with Striker while also getting Oki, so that seems like a decent deal to throw out, in my opinion. There are arms flying at us. Okay. I think, is that all of our... Oh yeah, then we've got down back 3, which is apparently like a launcher, which launches slightly, but is better if you... Yeah, so it's kind of a launcher in the regular version, but it becomes a better launcher if you amplify it. You can... It's... Yeah, advantage enough to get jumping attacks. Kind of. Yeah. And you can dash a lot faster. So I suppose you can get different rings. Yeah, something like that. Interesting, interesting. And is that everything except we got Telly, which is just down up, and is pretty fast, can be done from the air still. So you jump back, see someone throw a projectile, boom, they die. And you can also amplify it, which is kind of weird because you have to press, make sure you press the guard button with the same as up. I guess we'll get used to that. But yeah, reacting to projectiles, pretty volatile because relatively easy 30% for any projectile you can react to from just jumping back like a Scorpion player, I suppose. But well, let's see what the scaling like is different compared to the tackle. You can do the exact same combo. So this did 34%, whereas using the tackle, like 35. What's the damage of this? 90 versus... It's kind of hard. Wait. Hello? Why can't I amplify this? There we go. 80. Okay, so yeah, the tackle, it does do a little bit more damage, but it also has less scaling because it wasn't just 10 extra damage in that combo, it was... Oh wait, no, it was exactly 10 extra. Okay, so they're pretty similar when it comes to scaling in combos. That's good to know, I guess. You don't have to be too choosy over which one you use. Cool! Then, I suppose the only thing that's left is this guy. So, oh wait, we didn't talk about dive kicks, which I hear we have a lot of. So we've got regular dive kick, down back 4. Seems like the shadow comes back relatively quickly for it, just not instantly afterwards. But I wonder what the frames on this are like. Minus 15, that's actually not too bad for something that can be done from so far. Yeah, that's basically safe. That's pretty scary. In combination with all of his other projectile and movement options, being able to do this from his jump back and is basically safe is pretty scary because he can react to projectiles or just do this himself. And I think he has, oh yeah, so back forward 4. You can just go for this version, which, let's see what the frames are like on that. Oops, just make him block. Minus 6! That is pretty damn safe. Yeah, I'm not right in his face, but That is really, really good for something that I thought would be a bit of a more of an edge case projectile. Damn. And these both amplified. I'm not really sure what the straight one does amplified. We know that the dive kick becomes a launcher. What does this one do? Oh, it destroys projectiles. I guess that's all. During Embrace Chaos, it does something different, but everything does. Yeah, I guess it just is a slightly improved projectile that destroys other projectiles, but this one amplified is the cooler one. Ooh, it even brings them towards you if they're on the ground. Oh, do you not get a combo though? Oh yeah, you do. You just have to be faster. Dang. Oh, but it takes a bit of time for the clone to come back, so I can't actually go for my 1-2 string, or my 2-1. You're a bit limited, but I'm sure there's some cool things to do with that. Okay, so what? That's all specials now? Boom. Yeah. Now Embrace Chaos. So it lasts for a decent amount of time. We get like infinite portalage. Everything that we do puts them into a portal. Even our throw. But it doesn't last for an unlimited amount of time. And yeah, once we're out, we lose all of our shadow stuff. I guess this is a good time to quickly check out our strings. Okay, so they don't get replaced with anything, you just lose them. So off of standing 2, you get nothing anymore. 1, you just get 1, 2. We still have this string and this, our overhead and low, which is good. But yeah, we can't really... Oh, we also have our full mid, so there's not really too much wrong with all of our best buttons. We've got like our low, our overhead, our full mid string. We have a 2-hitting punish. We don't have this kind of stuff, but that's fine. We have that if you want it. I guess just special moves is where it's gonna hurt, but we still have Telly for the launch and this for a projectile, so honestly I don't think he's too bad off without it. You can throw a decent projectile, you can still play the lame game and do this kind of thing, and your combos are still gonna be like... yeah, easy 35%ers, so I don't think you should be too stressed about using this. So yeah, it disables your shadow after you use it. It's only active for a certain amount of time, but also that shadow disable is only active for 1 round, I think. So it's really not that too much of a hindrance. I think you should really go for this whenever you can, but we'll see. So yeah, everything becomes a combo basically, and what I'm interested in is this extra stuff that we get. Like, of course, getting this throw combos and stuff is crazy, but there was like an extra strings here, wasn't there? Yeah, so this is a string that we can only do when we're in Embrace Chaos. It doesn't exist otherwise, which is interesting. I wonder how good it is. Like, why do we need this 3rd hit specifically? Yeah, I guess a 3-hitting mid-string, or a 4-hitting mid-string where the 3 hits of the hit confirm are completely safe is pretty damn strong, so I guess I understand that. And then the new move that we get is this, back forward 2, which is a tracking low that is just another teleport onto you. So I guess that's kind of your, if you want to instantly get things started, you can just throw this out. I wonder what its frames are like. Okay, yeah, so it's your let's get it started move, where it just, okay, it'll hit anywhere on the screen, it'll start my combos, or it'll be plus on block, just throw it out. And once you've gotten that going, and hopefully you don't drop a combo, then you know that you can do a lot of stuff, and getting these combos is probably going to take a second, but yeah, everything that we do is going to lead to a full combo. And yeah, I'm not gonna lab that for too long here, because I imagine there's... yeah, that doesn't lead to a combo though. Does a sweep, since the dude punches him, lead to a combo? No, okay. That would be too cool. But very strong. You get some new stuff. You get some new strings. And everything leads to a combo, even your throw. And you can go into some, I imagine, pretty good damage, but we'll see after I've labbed it. Now I suppose that's everything. We also know that his Fatal Blow is one of the really good Fatal Blow activations. Where it's just a full screen low that is instantly tracking, is also not particularly slow at all. Like, it seems like it's even faster than the likes of Li Mei or whatever. Completely full screen tracking. You don't have the Garrus problem where if they're completely full screen it doesn't actually track. That seems really strong. That seems really, really strong. You catch anyone doing anything, throwing their own projectile, boom, catch him. If they whiff something, boom, catch him. And I imagine this also means that it's really easy to get combos from it. It's like, what was that string we had before? Wait, what was the string? Oh, it's like 2-on-4, right? Like random stuff like this, where even if the launch puts you really far away, this can probably catch them. Yeah, easy peasy. That's going to be able to extend off of any combo, which is a big strength. A lot of characters have to go out of their way to do a weird Fatal Blow combo. Not this guy. Alright, well, as expected, it seems like he's kinda... Oh, wow, he can have this. I was just gonna think about... Forgot to mention how you can amplify this. Which we saw in the Kombat cast, but I don't remember how you do it. Oh, so that's why you have to do the half circle for the... Right, so then you can like... Yeah, you can amplify the projectile after it's hit, which is pretty rare, but it does cost a lot of meter. That makes sense. Because it's basically like an auto-confirm, because if they block it, I imagine it doesn't come out. So that is pretty strong. You can just convert from anywhere into another 34% combo. Yeah, okay. It seems like he's going to be a pretty good well-rounder, but I'm going to silently lab some stuff now. I'm very intrigued to see what kind of damage we can get out of this guy, what kind of mix. And also, I'm now intrigued that this can become a bit of a setup, what we can get going with that. That has a lot of potential to be similar with Rain, especially with all the overheads and loads this guy has snuck in his moveset. Seems like he's a lot of potential. A lot of unique ways of extending combos, a lot of unique ways of zoning, a lot of unique ways of setting up, traversing the screen. Seems like he's got everything for any kind of playstyle, so I'm really excited. But we'll get to it. I hope you enjoy playing Noob Saibot. You get to labbing yourself, and we'll all share the tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.